Well, hello folks. Welcome back to our channel, Two Brothers Outdoors. Have you ever wondered what the perfect log looks like, or if there is such a thing as a perfect log? Well, today we're going to show you exactly what a perfect log looks like. If you're new to our channel, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell so you don't miss our future videos. Okay guys, let's get sawing this log and I'll show you the great aspects of this perfect log. You might have noticed that Tim and I both are wearing aprons. Well, when you see us wearing aprons, you know we're sawing white pine. White pine is so pitchy, especially this time of the year when you cut the tree down, the ends just bleed pitch and it gets all over everything. So we wear the aprons to keep the pitch off our pants and our shirts. So once we got the log sitting on the mill the way it wanted to lay, we took a tape measure and we went from the center of the log straight up 6 1/8 inches. And then we took the tape measure from that same point and went straight down 6 1/8 inches also. And what we're doing is we're sawing the log 6/4 at a time until we get close to that mark that we made that is 6 1/8 inches out from the center of the log. And I'll explain to you why in just a minute. Ultimately, what we want to end up with is a 12 1/4 inch thick cant laying on the mill. And the purpose of the marks is a reference point so you don't go too deep to screw up your cant. Now the purpose of the 6/4 is each piece of wood that comes off of this log while we're bringing it down to 12 1/4 inches. Each one of those pieces of wood will either be made into a 2x4 or a 2x6, depending on how wide it is. And the reason we went 6/4 is a lot of customers will order 2x6s or 2x4s or 2x8s. And you have to remind them that it's not like store-bought wood, which is 1.5 inches thick or 6/4 thick. And it's going to be difficult to nail it because you don't have as much nail or as much screw coming through the wood as you would if you were using dimensional lumber or what you would buy from Home Depot. So a lot of times the customer will choose to go 6/4 thick. That way you won't have a problem screwing it or nailing it to another piece of wood. And it makes it a little easier for you because you can get more product at 6/4 instead of 2 inches. And just in case you were wondering, yes, we charge the same for 6/4 as we do for 8/4. No difference in the price. Alright, we'll have this cant down to 12 1/4 inches thick in just a minute. And once we get it down to 12 1/4 inches thick, we're going to stand it up, dog it down, and get the bark off that side and get it flat. And then we'll roll it over and start cutting our boards. Okay, so at this point, we're going to take the bark off this one edge and get it flat. And then we'll roll it over and lock it down and start ripping off boards. And like before, every cut we will make on this cant will be at 6/4 because everything that comes off of this can be utilized into either a 2x4 or another 2x6. And if it's wide enough, a 2x6 and a 2x4. Okay, so every cut from here on out will be a 6/4, and in just a couple of cuts we'll be pulling 12.5-inch wide by 6/4-inch thick boards off of this can, and we are going to get some beautiful boards out of this log. Like I said, the log is perfect. There isn't even a single knot in this log, and the log was so straight, almost no taper at all, so we didn't have to use the toe board on it as well. This is the perfect log. Now, if we were sawing by ourselves, if I was sawing by myself or Tim was sawing by himself, we would just keep cutting and not take any boards off of this cant until you got close to the throat of the saw, and then of course you'd have to remove 1 or 2 boards to keep cutting. But right now I'm going to remove boards as he cuts them, so he doesn't have to waste time bringing the mill up higher and higher each time he cuts a board. He's only going to have to bring the mill up high enough to clear the last cut. So I'm going to be busy taking boards off while he is sawing them. These boards that I'm taking off are absolutely gorgeous. There's not a single knot in any of these boards. This could have been clear 1x pine, which brings pretty good money at Home Depot. But with no knots in these 2x6s, this customer is going to get very, very strong dimensional lumber. Okay, so what you're looking at is we've taken all of those 6/4 by 12.5-inch boards and we stood them up and locked them down standing up. And this one cut right here is going to produce a bunch of 2x6s. And now we're taking the flitches, or the pieces that we cut off with bark on them, and we're cutting them in 2x6s or 2x4s, whichever we can get out of it. We do have another order for 2x4s, so we're always planning ahead. And that's how you get the most out of a log, is as you're cutting, plan ahead for not only the order you're cutting, but anything you can get off for a future order that you may have to fill as well. Okay, it's going to sound unbelievable, but we got 20 2x6x8s off of that log. 20. That is incredible. Oops, it looks like the video looped back to the beginning. Well, it didn't. This is the next log that we're going to cut to finish out the order of 2x6s. That's going to be on the next video, guys. Alright, thanks for joining us. Hit that subscription button, hit the notifications bell. We hope you were able to get something out of this video. And until the next one, we will catch you later.